Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guests today are Mireille Estephan and Trevor Moore from Ardent. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So lots to cover. So let's jump straight into things, starting with introductions of yourselves. Mireille, I'll come to you first. Please tell us about yourself, a little summary background, and obviously your role within Ardent.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mireille Estephan. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Ardent. I am leading our innovation lab, which includes artificial intelligence, machine learning, R&D. I joined Ardent almost like a year ago. Before that, I worked at AWS. I was the head of engineering and data science team. And prior to AWS, I worked also for 4 years at Capital One. I was heading the data engineering and the data science team, mainly focusing on building models for fraud detection. And before that, I worked for around 10 years in the consulting industry, heading delivery and innovation, and mainly focusing on telecom and financial. So all in all, I've been in this industry for around 22 years now. I was born in Lebanon, so I lived there. I went to college in Lebanon, and I graduated from Paris. And then I moved to the US almost 16 years ago.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Trevor, coming to yourself, if you could do the same, please, that would be great.
Absolutely. Thank you, JP. I'm Trevor Moore. I am the Director of Technology at Ardent. Prior to Ardent, I worked as a officer in the Air Force for about 6 years in the active duty. I was an acquisitions officer as a development engineer, so I worked in the laser division and the munitions directorate, working on various systems for the Air Force. After that, I worked in the defense industry as a software engineer, as a data scientist, as a project manager, working on primarily AI/ML, computer vision. And now I'm here and happy to be doing it.
Wonderful. Let's jump straight into things at Ardent. Mireille, I'll come to you. If you could give us the overview about Ardent, who you are, your capabilities, and some of the customers that you're supporting, that would be great.
So Ardent was originally founded in 2006, and in June of last year, we were acquired by a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business, Mission First, a global expeditionary IT defense services provider, primarily supporting the United States Army. Most of Ardent's programs are all prime contracts, and we hold a top secret facilities clearance with nearly, I would say, 35% of our workforce having a security clearance from the secret level all the way up to top secret SCI with polygraph. So as you can see, the work Ardent delivers is truly mission critical to the safety and security of the United States. If I want to talk a little bit about our capabilities, Ardent primary capabilities are geospatial intelligence, expertise such as mapping, visualization, geospatial analysis, architecture, and design. Our digital transformation specialties includes areas such as agile, DevSecOps, zero trust, cloud solutions. We do such as migrations, managed services, and application development. Our third primary capability is artificial intelligence and machine learning, where we are building new tools for our public and commercial sector customers and ethical and trustworthy AI. For our customers, Ardent's largest customer is the Department of Homeland Security. Some of the agencies we support include DHS headquarters, Customs and Border Protection, CBP, USCIS, which is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration, FEMA, Coast Guard, and the U.S. Secret Service. Outside of DHS, we work with agencies such as Department of Transportation, Health and Human Services, the Social Security Administration, and the General Services Administration. Also, Ardent recently won its first DoD contract Yay, we're very excited about it, specifically with the Department of the Air Force to provide geospatial IT services across the Air Force. We are actually thrilled to have this first opportunity to work with the men and women who help keep our country safe. It's worth mentioning that one of Ardent's missions is to hire as many veterans as possible. As I mentioned earlier, like our president and CEO is a former Army officer who graduated from West Point. So it's in our DNA to serve our country and to hire vets.
Thank you so much for that. Obviously, a lot of interesting content in there, which leads nicely then into the technology side of things. So obviously, we want to talk about Ardent's AI capabilities and how you're working with your customers. So Trevor, coming to you, can you talk about the you and I were talking a few weeks ago, you mentioned the TRI labs and how you're utilizing advanced AI and ML capabilities. Walk us through that. What's the origin story and how is it going to allow Ardent to support your customers?
Mireille actually set up our Technology Research and Innovation Lab, or TriLab as we're calling it, back in September of 2023. Currently, we're a pretty small team. We have about 7 members. We have a pretty broad expertise despite the small team. So we have expertise in software engineering, machine learning engineering, data science, data engineering, geospatial intelligence, and system architecture. So with all of that, we're combining all of our knowledge and know-how to be able to get after the internally funded AI ML research that we're doing, as well as we're trying to go after government, small business, innovative research opportunities and broad agency announcements where we're trying to apply all of our skills to be able to really contribute to the mission and advance technology, specifically in the AI ML space.
Given the work you've done and so much of it is focused on different government departments and government agencies, I know there are certain restrictions on what you can and cannot share in relation to details. But if you look at some recent engagements and conversations that you're having with customers, what are you being asked to work on? What are you collaborating on? And what can you share with us about some of the work that you're doing? Part 2 of that then is some of the unique challenges that you're seeing with the AI capabilities in the space that you're operating in. So 2-part question, but first, what can you share with us about some of the conversations you're having? What are you being asked to support? And then what are the associated challenges that you're seeing?
Definitely. One of the biggest efforts we're supporting right now is with the National Institutes of Standards and Technologies, NIST. So we are collaborating with them in the Artificial Intelligence Safety Institute Consortium, also called ASIC, to establish a new measurement science that will enable the identification of proven, scalable, and interoperable measurements and methodologies to promote development of trustworthy AI and its responsible use. Just as a disclaimer, NIST does not evaluate commercial products under this consortium and does not endorse any product or service used. So there's about 200 organizations that NIST selected for this, and we are helping them evaluate AI. And with that, we're seeing some of these challenges that are being faced. The EU Act was the first one to kind of lay down posts in the sand that says we need to be able to use AI safely, especially as it becomes more capable and more integrated into systems. So there's obviously a lot of risk associated with that. I'm sure you've seen some of the news articles and stuff out there about potential biases and issues in AI. So we're really trying to get after that. How do we curtail bias? How do we try to mitigate risks as much as possible? And how do we make it so it's actually something that companies will want to buy in on and get with the program, as opposed to trying to wrangle all these different organizations to really be able to use this technology safely and effectively for all of society.
Thank you for that, Trevor. And I know you guys have some specific offerings, which are products that you're making available. One of which is Guardian Suite, and then you also have Sentinel Suite. I'd love to talk a little bit more about those and how you're positioning them as tools for these organizations to utilize aspects of AI, which touches on the importance of safety, transparency, reliability.
Yeah, exactly. And this dovetails with the previous points that we're talking about. So the AI Guardian Suite is a comprehensive solution designed to enhance the safety, transparency, and reliability of AI systems across various critical sectors, address core challenges in AI development, including ethical considerations, security vulnerabilities, and the need for stringent compliance with the ever-evolving world of regulations that we live in. Mireille, would you like to discuss that topic more?
I would like to take a couple of minutes before we go into kind of like the offering. I would really like to address the importance of the challenges for the last couple of years that the entire world is facing with AI, right? Trusted AI is a life or death situation. Like our mission at Ardent is public safety and disaster emergency response. As you've seen, and I know you, JP, and everyone who's hearing us, they have faced at some point an example of an answer or a response that you got from any AI tools that you are using that made you question, is this the right answer? Is this correct? Do I believe what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing? And this is what drove us at Ardent to really focus on how we can have humans believe in AI, right? Like how you can trust that what you are using today from AI capabilities is something that you can rely on, and it's not gonna damage your life or your career or your health. And that's where all started from, right? We've been spending, I would say, around the last year, and we're not even to be done yet, spent like our last year doing research and focusing on what is the actual AI challenge and the problems that people are facing today. And we are using our expertise and domain knowledge expertise, working with very closely with the government and trying to learn what are the restrictions, what are the challenges, and what we can do to help the government setting up those guardrails and like looking at challenges, providing some solutions or ways for whoever is using any AI tools for them to be able to trust and to believe in what these tools or these capabilities are telling them to do, right? So this is mainly I just wanted to give a background, like how we came up with this idea of like building or looking into such capability. So what we are looking into as a solution or as an offering is we want to make sure that safe, trustworthy, and secure AI is provided within this capability, right? Build trust and confidence. As I mentioned, set up safeguards, detect biases, monitor performance, all of it like trying to provide like what's an overall score for any AI tool that's currently being used and how we can trust it. Also, like another challenge or findings that we came through when we were doing all our research is that there is a gap in providing transparency and human AI collaboration, like provide a clear explanation of the use of the AI solution, how we can enhance human decision making, what's the importance actually of human in the loop feedback, right? And with doing all of this, our high priority is provide data privacy and security, making sure to act as a trustworthy steward for sensitive information used by any AI solution, and how we can make this work as a platform agnostic, right? We want to make sure that us as coming as a third-party vendor where we're not married to any of these big tech companies, how we can provide tools and utilities for our users or our customers to use. So this is mainly what our offering is about. There is still a lot more, but as I mentioned earlier, we're still not done yet. We are still researching, and we're spending a lot of our time and hours meeting with our customers, meeting with potential partners, researching and trying to see what's out there, and really, really trying to look at what is still missing. With all these tools that's being provided today, what is still missing for us to provide our users with these solutions that actually will be like a guardian for AI tools that's currently being used.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
Bringing it back to where we are now, you talked about There's so much more that can be done. You're always looking for areas that you can add more enhancements and continued investment and growth of opportunity. So all of that then translates into the people side of things. As you build out this innovation team, you're going to need to grow and attract talent. So what is your vision for the next few years, particularly the next 1 to 2 years? Because in the world of AI, it's hard to predict anything further than that. But when you look at the scale of the opportunity, the conversations that you're having, particularly with the customers that you already have in place, what are you excited about, and where do you see the growth opportunity across the innovation team?
Oh my God, that's my favorite topic. When we talk about growth opportunities, I look at it in two separate threads. The first one is the people aspect of it, and this is the key, right? If you don't have the right team in place, if you don't have the right people in place, if you don't have the right culture, we cannot execute on any of this, right? So that's why it's our high priority and focus at Ardent to make sure that we are maintaining a culture of growth. We are maintaining a culture of trust, and we want to make sure that everyone on the team feel that they are responsible and they are equally important to the work that we are doing. So when you look at the people aspect of it, we are growing our innovation team. As Trevor mentioned earlier, we stood up this TriLabs, which stands for Technology Research and Innovation Organization within Ardent, less than a year ago. And we started this lab by only me, and today we have 7 people. So you see that we are not growing crazy because we are taking our time to make sure that we are hiring the right people and we are hiring the right skill set. We are still currently looking and hiring for skilled data scientists that they are mainly specializing in NLP or CV or responsible AI expertise. We are looking for a policy AI officer, someone that has the expertise in AI policies, how to apply them, how to make sure that we are following the right guide rails. We also have future opportunities to hire more software engineers, machine learning engineers. So if you ask me like the plan from here to 1 year from now, our plan is to focus on hiring, growing the innovation team, hiring the right expertise. But if you ask me from technical perspective or strategy perspective, what we are looking at to grow in the upcoming year, the main thing that we really want to focus on and we want to grow into is the public safety and disaster emergency response. As I mentioned, now recently, and it's not a secret, everybody knows that most of the government department, they started adopting AI tools. They are looking into how we can whitelist those tools, which one we can trust, which one we can use. And this is our main focus, or our strategy for the upcoming year, is to really grow in this area, is to really enhance the public safety and improve disaster responses through trusted and reliable AI solutions. And second on our list is transparency and trust. All the conversation that we've been having so far, or the challenges that we've been gathering, is that most of the AI solution that's being presented today to any of our customers to use, it's like a black box. There is no transparency. They don't know what's going on in these system. They don't know how they are built. They don't know if they can trust it or not. So really, our second key of strategy is build a transparent AI systems that our users and our customers can trust, where we can ensure decisions made by AI are actually understandable and justifiable. These are the two main keys that we want to focus on in the upcoming year. I'm not a person that plan for 5 years from now, because to your point, JP, especially in the innovation world, things changes, evolves. Every day there is something new come up, and whatever you plan for 5 years from now, it might not be valid anymore. So that's why we focus on planning 1 year at a time, of course, with a big vision in mind on how we want to evolve this and where we want Ardent to be 5 years from now.
Yeah, Thank you. Trevor, I want to come to you with one last question and then finish with yourself, Mireille. Trevor, as somebody who's in a leadership position but hands-on technical, when you look at the work that you and your team are doing and you look at the opportunity that exists over the next year at Ardent, if you were speaking to a former colleague or somebody in this space that you felt would be a good fit for Ardent, what is it that you would tell them about the team, the work, the mission, the growth that would get them interested enough to join you guys over some of the other partners out there also trying to hire for the same talent?
I would say the biggest thing is the team itself. Obviously, you want a good place to work where you feel like your thoughts and work is being valued and your contributions matter. So I'm big on the idea of autonomy, mastery, and purpose. I want people to be able to do the work that they want to do. I want them to be able to be the managers of it, really get after it and be the masters of it. And I want them to feel like every day that they go to work, they have people that they enjoy working with and that what they do matters. So I try to lead a very collaborative team. I try to make sure that everyone's strengths are leveraged as best they can. And I really want to make sure that our work actually has an impact. And that's also why we're really going after this public spaces, because when you have something as consequential as AI, especially now with the talk of AI agents that can control computer systems or robots or whatever it may be, like the ability to trust that these things are working in a safe and responsible manner is huge. And so I would ask that anyone who feels that calling definitely reach out.
Mireille, coming to you for a final point. You've already given us your vision for the opportunity and the importance of the people and the impact. So final question to you then, speaking to an audience of potential future employees and future colleagues, what is it that you can tell us about the near-term journey for Ardent and why should they be focusing and paying attention to what you guys are doing when they think about their next career move?
What I can say first is that it is a fun environment to work at. I know, especially people that they are in the AI industry or data science industry, they know research is one of the fun thing ever that you can do, right? Being able to do your own research, but most importantly, what we encourage at Ardent is that we always talk about it, that there is no like hierarchy and someone to approve something. If we have an idea in mind, if there's something we want to explore with, we just go and explore with it, and then we come up after that with a solution or with a process or with a decision making. So the first thing that I can say is that it is a fun environment to do research. It's a very interesting problem that we are trying to solve. I know there's a lot of these tools out there today, like every day or every week you see a new tool coming out as trustworthy AI tool or risk management tool, which is great. But what we are looking at, we are really going after the problem itself and what's the impact of this problem on our users and specifically on the government side. I would say the near term, what we are going after is that we are hoping in the upcoming 3 to 6 months, we will have a product ready as production ready. Now, what we are focusing on, we are graduating from the MVP phase, making sure that we have a production ready tool that we can provide to our users. And we cannot wait to start providing this to our customers as a testing and get their feedback from it, because we know there is still a lot of stuff to be done, and we know there is a lot of room for enhancement and to make this tool even better and more accurate to be used. So that's the near term for us right now. This is what our main focus is, but I would encourage everybody, whoever is interested in the data science world or in the AI world, and specifically focused on trusting AI or responsible AI and like the side of being a steward of the government and help with them trusting their AI tool, please feel free to reach out to us. We are always happy to have conversations.
Trevor, Mireille, thank you both so much for coming on today and talking to us. Really appreciate you sharing both your own backgrounds, but then an incredible insight into the work you're doing at Ardent. When we think about AI's possibilities and capabilities, and you think about the customer base that you're focusing on, the impact is one that can benefit us all. So it sounds like things are moving in the right direction. Obviously very exciting with the innovation lab. So we wish you, the team, and everyone there all the success in the world, and look forward to having you back on the show again in the very near future.
Oh, thank you so much, JP, and thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you, JP.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.